In many families, especially within collectivist cultures, the eldest son is not merely a child. He becomes a role, a responsibility, and eventually a replacement for adulthood long before he is ready. This is the story of the eldest son who steps out into the world to earn, not because he is ambitious, but because the family needs him. He becomes the financial support for his parents and the emotional shield for his younger siblings. Yet, paradoxically, when those siblings grow up and the crisis ends, the same eldest son often finds himself emotionally sidelined, consulted less, valued less, and slowly treated like a guest in his own home. This video explores why this happens, not from a moral angle, but through psychology, family system theory, and human behavior. The early role assignment, how the eldest son becomes the second father. Psychology tells us that families under stress unconsciously assign roles to survive. This concept is known as family role theory. In financially or emotionally strained households, the eldest son is often assigned the role of the provider, the protector, problem solver, and the emotional regulator. This process is really verbalized. No one sits him down and says, "You are now responsible for the family." Instead, it happens through expectation, silence, and necessity. He leaves school early, delays dreams, or accepts burdens that were never meant for his age. Psychologically, this is called parentification, when a child takes on adult responsibilities. At this stage, the eldest son receives respect, dependence, and often authority within household. But this authority is conditional. Conditional value, love based on utility. One of the most painful psychological truths is this: when a person is valued mainly for what they provide, their worth becomes conditional. During hardship, his opinion matters, his sacrifices are praised, and his presence is necessary. But this value is function based, not identity based. In simple terms, he is valued because he is useful, not because he is him. Psychology calls this instrumental attachment, and instrumental attachment has a hidden expiration date. When the crisis ends, the shift in family power dynamics. As younger siblings grow up and begin earning, the family system naturally reorganizes. This is explained by family system theory. When one role is no longer required, the system restructures itself. Now, younger siblings bring income, parents regain financial stability, and decisions are distributed differently. But here's the psychological mistake families often make: they remove the role but forget to preserve the respect. The elder son is no longer the provider, so unconsciously his authority decreases, his voice weakens, and his emotional relevance fades. This is not intentional cruelty, it is psychological inertia. Why parents start consulting younger sons? From a psychological perspective, parents often shift toward younger children because they associate the eldest with hardship. Means he reminds them of difficult times. Younger sons represent recovery and progress. Number two, guilt avoidance. Parents may feel subconscious guilt for burdening the eldest. Distance becomes a defense mechanism. Number three, emotional exhaustion. Parents lean towards children who demand less emotionally. And number four, control dynamics. Younger sons may be more agreeable. Elder sons, shaped by responsibility, often question decisions. This creates a painful paradox. The child who sacrificed the most becomes the least consulted. The psychological cost to the eldest son. Over time, the elder son begins to experience emotional invisibility, identity confusion, suppressed resentment, chronic self neglect, and difficulty receiving care. He has learned one core belief: my value lies in what I give, not in what I am. This leads to overworking, poor boundaries, emotional isolation, and feeling like a guest in his own family. Psychology refers to this as role collapse. When a person loses the role that defined their place in a system without being given a new one. Why he spent on siblings, not himself. This behavior is not weakness. It is identity driven altruism. The eldest son internalized the belief that his needs are secondary, his desires are optional, and his sibling's success is his success. Neurologically, caregiving releases dopamine and oxytocin, reinforcing self sacrifice as a reward mechanism. But when this investment is not emotionally acknowledged later, it results in emotional debt, unpaid psychological labor. Why siblings forget his sacrifices? This forgetting is not always intentional. Psychologically, younger siblings grow up assuming stability as normal. Sacrifice becomes invisible when it predates memory. And humans normalize the environment they inherit. This is called baseline bias. They do not remember the cost, only the outcome. Becoming a guest in his own home. When decisions happen without him, his opinions are overlooked and emotional warmth decreases. The eldest son feels displaced, not rejected, displaced. This is one of the most painful emotional state because it lacks confrontation. There is no argument, no fight, just quiet exclusion. Healing the elder son psychology. Healing begins with reclaiming identity beyond role. Psychologically, healthy steps include accepting that sacrifice does not guarantee reciprocity, redefining self worth outside usefulness, setting emotional boundaries, allowing oneself to receive, and releasing the need for validation from family. This is not bitterness, this is emotional adulthood. The eldest son was never meant to be a backup parent. He was meant to be a child who grew into himself. But survival rewrote his story. Understanding this dynamic is not about blaming parents or siblings. It is about recognizing invisible psychological labor. Because sometimes the strongest person in the room is also the most unseen. The eldest son does not become distant because he is ungrateful. He becomes distant because he finally realizes that his sacrifices were situational, but his silence becomes permanent. If this video resonates with you, like and share and subscribe YouTube TraitSense channel. Thank you.